What up, what up? Welcome to the Cleaver Podcast Show, Episode 1. I'm Joshua Clow,
I'm Michael Weaver.
and we co host the Cleaver Podcast. Welcome to our first episode. Just give you a heads up, this is our first episode. It's not going to be the greatest there is, but me and Mike both thank you for all the support of all the followers and all the views and whatnot. And like I said, we appreciate all the support. Now, getting towards the episode 1. I think the most logical thing to start off is the first half of the season recap. We're at mid-season, so let's begin on the first half of the recap. Records. A lot of records were broken this week, and a lot of records were made. So
Let's start with probably one of the biggest ones is Drew Brees, obviously, just, low key. I didn't know how close he was to breaking all these Peyton Manning records and Brett Favre and like 500 touchdowns. Like, that's a lot.
yeah, I didn't even know he was even that close. I thought he was a couple years off. So
Yeah, we were talking a while back, like where does Drew Brees rank now as the GOAT? Like, you got Tom Brady, who also passed 500 touchdowns, by the way. But, Tom Brady, you got Peyton Manning, Dan Marino, Brett Favre, all these Hall of Fame QBs, and
Peyton Manning's still my guy though.
same.
I still think he's the best. I mean, Brady can he competes it, but for right now, it's still Peyton Manning. 5 MVPs, second all time touchdowns now. Hard to admit that, but he still got the passing yards for between the next couple weeks to a year. So
Yeah.
Drew Brees said he ain't retiring this season. So
Yeah, he's still got it. Breeze has got a couple more years at least in him.
yeah,
Competitive years, I think.
Let's hope. While his marriage with Sean Payton still lasts.
Yeah.
The other big thing, Adam Vinatieri, man.
Yeah.
The GOAT kicker, he's like 45 years old.
Something like that.
I think he's older than my dad.
He's still going. He's still going.
And he also said that he's not planning on retiring anytime soon. He broke the most field goals, and I think last week or he's going to do it this week, he has the most points ever scored as a kicker. So, passing, I think, Morton Anderson.
Yeah.
So
Hall of Famer. You pass a Hall of Famer, you're going to be a Hall of Famer.
I mean, there's only one. I think there's only one kicker in the Hall of Famer, so we'll get a second one.
We'll get two.
And
We'll get two.
Justin Tucker will be the third one, but that's years.
That's a
years.
ways.
Yeah. Let's talk about the first game of the season, the longest game of the year, Tennessee and Dolphins. I don't know what happened in that game.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be a good 3-hour game, turned out to be 7.5 hours. 2 rain delays, you got up to 4 hours. I mean,
Man.
I was watching
Yeah.
Sunday Night Football while watching the Dolphins Tennessee game. So
Yeah. Man. But speaking of that Sunday night game, week 1, Aaron Rodgers,
oh yeah, that comeback.
that was, to me, that was the moment of the first half, other than Drew Brees. Like, Aaron Rodgers gets carted off the field at the,
Give him some
halfway
Percocets
through.
and Vicodin. And
yeah. And he says, I'm good. I'll lead a 20-point comeback in the fourth quarter on one leg.
hit 3 touchdowns, almost 300 yards in just the second half. I mean,
Yeah. Man, like, talk about the GOAT. At the end of the day, at the end of his career, I think Aaron Rodgers is going to go down as the GOAT.
hopefully, I would like to see him get another ring, but
Yeah. We'll see.
I don't know if this is the year.
No, this is not the year.
But what I would watch out for, I believe Earl Thomas is going to be a free agent. I wouldn't be surprised if Packers pick up Earl Thomas to beefing up that defense. Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers is a defense away. Get him any receivers, they'll put up 30 points a game. But
Yeah, for sure.
that
No, they just-
defense, Clinton Dix and Earl Thomas, that'd be a nice safety.
Yeah.
Pick up a corner in the first round.
Yeah. And then they've also got Kevin King at corner he's an up-and-comer, I think.
And don't forget about Clay Matthews.
Yeah. Mr.
A.K.A. quarterback killer right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Clay Matthews not slowing down. Just I think they're one linebacker, one DB, and a defensive line away, which is a lot.
You know what else is the most surprising thing I've seen yet?
Huh.
My boy Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
He's what? 22 touchdowns already. Only what? 4 picks. I mean, this
Yeah.
guy.
he's going off.
He's only played 8 games in his career. You know who he reminds me of?
What's up?
The good old Dan Marino back in the day. Dan Marino, second year in the NFL, threw for 5,000 yards, 49 touchdowns.
Yeah,
And that's back in the 80s, man.
yeah, no one saw that.
Patrick Mahomes, he's in his second year, and he's on par catching up that Dan Marino second year record. So, although the Chiefs got a pretty hectic
Yeah,
final stretch,
yeah. But if you
But-
put up enough points,
Yeah, but they're going against about 5 or 6 teams that have solid defenses. So,
yeah, we'll see. It'll be a good test for him. See where he really is.
yeah, I mean, you can shred any defense you want.
Yeah,
If they
It's-
got losing
it's-
records, but
yeah.
once you go against top 5 defenses, that's when you really see a quarterback.
yeah. It's one thing to shred. I don't know, the Browns. Even though they have a pretty good defense this year, a lot better than I thought they would be. But,
Oh yeah, but you got like the Raiders and
yeah,
even the Patriots don't even have a top 10 defense.
No.
So you look
But-
at them. They got to play the Chargers again. Chargers are becoming 5-2. I believe
Yeah.
they play the Baltimore Ravens later on this year, which
Yeah.
actually has a top 5 defense. So
yeah. They got Baltimore. I know they got the Seahawks down the road. They got a good stretch.
they
Got a
do, and
good
I really
stretch.
like their offense. I mean, Kareem Hunt, Tyreek Hill, and
Yeah.
Travis Kelsey. I mean, that's
Yeah.
a package right there. You got 2
Yeah.
really fast dudes.
Yeah, and
You
you
have
have
a mid-
Sammy Watkins as your fourth option, a former number 1 wide receiver.
That team's stacked on offense. So
Yeah. Really, the only break the Chiefs have in the next few weeks is the Cardinals. They got Broncos this week. They got Browns the following week, who, like we said, is a pretty good defense, so better than expected. Cardinals is their one break. And then you got Rams, and then Raiders, I guess, is another not so great.
that's
Team.
a prime time game too, I think. So
Yeah.
But this is their year and within a year or two, you got to start paying everyone, and everyone's going
Yeah.
to stay.
Yeah.
Same thing
They're-
with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott's gonna.
Yeah.
They're gonna
They're
be in the
gonna-
final year next year, and you got to pay both of those. Plus, you
Yeah.
got to pay. Well, Amari Cooper coming in. I don't think he has a new deal yet. He's either
No,
on his
not
final
yet.
year. He's either on his final year, or they picked up the option for him. So,
Yeah.
and then I know a couple offensive linemen are due upcoming within a year or two. So Dallas
Yeah.
got a lot of problems. So
Yeah,
that's why earlier when I said about Earl Thomas, I don't see Earl Thomas going to Dallas
No.
unless he signs
Not at this
for free.
point. Yeah, not at this point in his career. He's got another year, maybe 2, good years, Pro Bowl years in the tank, but
But
he
Dallas,
wants a long-term deal, and
he want money.
yeah,
Dallas doesn't have that money right now.
No.
So talking about the first half, what are we gonna expect for the second half, man?
second half. Well, we already see it happening. The Patriots started out 1-2, I believe, and they're definitely not as bad as 1-2. The-
But that's the Patriots, man.
Yeah, the
Belichick,
Patriots.
Brady.
Same thing happened last year. I'm pretty sure they started out slow and they went on to make it to the Super Bowl again. So I'm expecting the same thing, to be honest. I mean, the Patriots with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, they're always a Super Bowl threat.
Yeah, I see them in the division. The Dolphins do have a chance to challenge them, but the Dolphins, half the team is injured
Yeah.
and IR. And, no disrespect to Brock Osweiler, but I don't see him leading a team to the
No.
playoffs, and neither does Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
So, and like I said,
And
this
the-
team is injury prone. You got a couple injuries on offense. They're out 3 starting linemen. You got 2 wide receivers on IR. Your
Yeah.
defense is starting to collapse. You got at one point they only had 3 linemen or 3 defensive linemen in a game.
Yeah.
So
And then their receiving core is pretty banged up at the moment, too.
yeah, their strength right now is the running back, but you can't run the ball. If,
Yeah.
Miami can't start.
Yeah, and the Patriots tend to make people one-dimensional. And if you can shut down the run game with the Dolphins, it's not good news.
Yeah, and the Dolphins' final stretch, last five of their games were playoff teams from last year. Patriots got a little easier to schedule now because most of their bulk came in the beginning. So, unless we see, Brock Osweiler playing like a god or something like that, Dolphins may go 8-8.
Yeah.
Which, Patriots will 12-13 win season. So.
Yeah, because the other teams in the division, you got the Jets.
The Jets,
they have a rookie QB, gunslinger type. He's got all the talent in the world, but
the Jets
yet.
got a bright future, but I don't,
they're not there yet. Same with the Bills.
Well, the Bills are pretty banged up too. You're starting rookie quarterbacks out for a couple weeks. You get, I think Derek Anderson retired and came back. I'm not really positive.
He's gonna start this week.
That was a weird, pickup.
Yeah.
But Nathan Peterman.
I mean,
the man likes to throw game-ending interceptions. But
I think he thinks the other team is his receivers sometimes.
But what I expect is something is the NFC North. They're all a game away. So, start seeing them beating up on each other. Like the Bears started 3-1, they're 3-3. They had to go against two out of conference games against decent decent offenses. But I do see the Bears bouncing back here soon.
Yeah.
I know that Clear Mack is a little banged up, but that defense is still something to worry about, and their offense has been.
Yeah, Mitchell Trubisky has been. He's been doing pretty well his last few games.
He is starting to play like the third overall pick from last year.
Yeah.
So, they finally got the wide receivers, and they put up a fight against the Patriots. If that Hail Mary, if they would have gotten that one extra yard, they would have beaten the Patriots. That whole division would have even been more,
more chaotic.
Yeah, competitive. But
I think at the end of the day, though, at the end of the year, it's going to come down to Packers-Vikings. Because, you got Aaron Rodgers, and he's Aaron Rodgers.
I do believe that Week 17, like we've had in recent years, Week 17 is going to come down that division, and I believe it's the Lions and Packers for the Week 17 matchup. So
probably. I
know that's probably going to be the game to decide the NFC North. So that's probably going to be the primetime game.
Yeah. It's going to be a tight race in the NFC North.
Also, the other thing is, look at the AFC West. Not Packers. The Chiefs and the Chargers, they're going neck and neck.
Yeah.
The only reason the Chargers are one game behind because the Chiefs already beat them once.
Yeah.
But the Chargers got it done without Melvin Gordon. I think Melvin Gordon, him and Todd Gurley are the two best running backs in this league right now. They're churning 100 yards a game. They are getting multiple touchdowns a game. These are running backs to fear.
Yep. The Chargers have we already talked about how the Chiefs have a tough stretch coming up. The Chargers they got not a cakewalk, but they got the next 5 weeks. They got Seahawks, Raiders, Broncos, Cardinals, Steelers. None of those teams really strike
their
fear.
final stretch is a little hard too, though. You got Steelers, Bengals, Chiefs, Ravens, and Broncos, and I believe 4 of those teams have winning records as of right now, and most of those teams are going to be playoff contenders. Every game counts. Definitely with the Steelers and Bengals.
Yeah.
With the AFC North.
Yeah,
which we're going to go to in a minute too, because that's a close division too. You got.
And those games could also have wild card potential.
Yeah.
In them.
In the AFC North, like I was saying, you got I believe the Ravens lead the division. Either the Ravens or the Steelers, because the Steelers got that tie.
Yeah, I think it's Steelers by a half game.
But three of those teams have winning records, and the Browns are only 2 games out. I wouldn't count them out. If they beat Pittsburgh this week, I believe they play Pittsburgh this week, don't they?
I think so.
Yes. Yes, if they beat Pittsburgh this week, we are looking at a very tough division that could also possibly come within week 16, week 17. So, and Cleveland Browns, they got, I want to say a top, maybe top 5 defense. I know they're like
Top 10 definitely.
they're either 1 or 2 in turnovers, but this is a team that is a feared team. Baker Mayfield, he's improving every game. I do really give props to the new GM Dorsey. He really just changed things up, and this is a beautiful team of just young men.
Yeah, they could be the next Jaguars.
I'm predicting next season. This is a team as a Super Bowl contender. This is the year to kind of learn where you're at in the scheme wise. But next season,
they could take it to the next level.
They can, I believe. They won't win the division this year, no. But next season, this is a team to watch. I'm trading Josh Gordon did hurt this team on offense a little.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be surprised if they pick up a nice wide receiver.
Yeah.
And Des Bryant is still available.
Yeah. And they still have enough weapons.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of rookies right now, but
yeah. Or second-year starters, but they do still have that. So they have the ability to win every week.
Yeah. But talking about these divisions, let's look at these division leaders. Who's gonna stay, and who we're gonna see changing in a couple weeks to week 17. We're gonna start with the AFC East. You got the Patriots leading right now, 5-2.
They're gonna stay.
Miami is currently at 4-3. We've already talked about that. Patriots, they don't got a cakewalk, but they're
the best team in that division by far.
Yeah, and Miami does have a brutal stretch coming up.
Yeah.
The Jets, you are leading with a rookie quarterback who's been up and down.
Yeah.
So, and then the Bills, they don't even have an identity right now.
Yeah, they're not the playoff team they were last year.
They have no consistency. Different quarterback. So.
Yeah. So the AFC North, we kind of already touched on that. You have Steelers at 3-2-1, Bengals 4-3, Ravens 4-3, and then the Browns at 2-4-1. This one I could see going 3 different ways.
Yeah, my prediction, I think the Ravens are going to get it. They're the more complete team, which is kind of funny because their offense has been in and out, but I am liking the way they're using Lamar Jackson in the run game right now.
Yeah. Despite
him being a quarterback, he is a fast, young runner.
Yeah,
which I believe the Ravens are at injury right now in the running back game.
Yeah.
But
yeah, Lamar Jackson is a right-handed Michael Vick, essentially.
And the Ravens have already beaten Pittsburgh, and they've already beaten the Bengals once. And I know they clash again.
Yeah.
In the upcoming, weeks. But I will give it to the Ravens to probably turn it out 10, either 10-6 or 11-5 to win the division.
All right. AFC South right now, you got Houston leading 4-3. You got Titans at 3-4, Jaguars at 3-4, which I think is surprising, and then Colts at 2-5. How do you think this one's gonna play out?
Surprisingly, I still have the Jaguars winning the division. Last year they started the season 3-3, and they finished 10-6, which their final 2 games they did lose, but they had already clinched the division.
Yeah.
So, they really went 10-4, when they clinched the division.
Yeah. And they made it to the championship game, AFC Championship against the Patriots.
Yes, and I still have them as a Super Bowl contender, and my reason, and I think the reasoning why they've been lacking is their offense. I'm not gonna blame Blake Bortles on everything because let's be real. Name a wide receiver on that team.
D.D. Westbrook, and that's about it.
Yeah, and most people haven't heard about it. So they don't really have receivers, and you can bring in all the quarterbacks you like.
Yeah.
But I don't see this team going any.
Yeah. And plus, Leonard Fournette has been hurt, and he's their number 1 option.
Yeah,
he's the best player on that offense.
3 of the running backs are banged up. Leonard Fournette's banged up. T.J. Yeldon's been in and out the injury report, and then Grant is on IR. I know they brought in Jamal Charles, but Jamal Charles is a 34-year-old back who suffered ACL injuries and ankle injuries and whatnot. So
and they just traded for Carlos Hyde to hopefully get that running game going. So.
Yeah, he's done fantastic for the Browns.
Yeah.
So and he had a good career going on with the 49ers. So I believe he's going to play this week. And, try to
Yeah.
get the momentum. The offense stay longer, the defense gets better. So,
Yeah.
I know the defense has been slacking in the recent couple weeks, but
But they still have the potential to be the best defense in the NFL.
yeah.
They
So I
They
wouldn't.
still have that potential.
I wouldn't sleep on these. On the Jaguars. They also got to
Yeah.
play their division. I think they play 4 games still.
Yeah.
So, and
And they have the Colts in a couple of weeks, and then the Bills, and then the Colts again. They play the Colts twice within 5 weeks. So
I see this team maybe coming out on top at 10-6.
yeah.
Also, Houston's going to give them a fight, of course.
Yeah, I could see.
But the only reason we're going to talk about this is for the Houston not making it is their offense.
Yeah.
Despite having Deshaun Watson and Lamar Miller, Will Fuller, and DeAndre Hopkins, they're not
DeAndre
scoring
Hopkins.
over 20 points a game.
Yeah.
Their offensive line is
Yeah.
basically the wall Trump wants to build but is not built.
Yeah.
It is a terrible line. Deshaun Watson's getting hit every other play. And
Yeah.
like tonight's game against the Dolphins could go either way because you got to go against Robert Quinn and Cameron Wake.
Yep.
If the Texans do lose this game, which I do seeing because of the Miami's defense will probably play better because
Yeah.
Miami does have a slightly better offensive line.
Yeah.
They could fall 4-4. You gotta essentially could have a 3-way tie in this division, and I wouldn't sleep out the Colts either.
Yeah.
The Colts, they're getting healthier again.
Yeah.
They
Andrew Luck is playing.
He's
He's actually playing. He's not hurt.
he's phenomenal
So,
right now. And then
yeah.
they do have a defensive rookie of the year candidate, and I can't remember his name at this point in time. But that guy was balling until I believe he got injured in week 4. So, and their running back, he came back too, and he is
He had a big
something
week
special
last week.
too. If it wasn't the fact he wasn't hurt, I think he could challenge Saquon Barkley at Rookie of the Year on the offensive side.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give it to the Jaguars for that division.
Yeah. It's definitely going to come down to Jags Texans at the end. Let's see. They play each other week 7
In which the
and week
Texans
17.
won. Yeah, that week 17 game that could
Yeah, that
probably
could
be
be
the
the
deciding factor.
Yeah, it could come down to that. So we'll see. Next up, we got AFC West. This one is a 2-team race, and it's gonna stay that way. Chiefs 6-1, Chargers 5-2. Then you got the Broncos at 3-4, and the Raiders at 1-5.
I got the Chiefs.
Same.
The Chiefs, most of their bulk of the hard games they've already done.
Yeah.
Their offense is just too powerful, and I think their defense is going to improve better once Eric Berry comes back.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we already talked about how great Patrick Mahomes has been. So, but yeah, these next few weeks are going to be a test. But yeah, I mean they got the Raiders week 17. Still play the Raiders twice.
that's 2 easy wins.
That's pretty much 2 wins. Yeah.
You can't if you're a Super Bowl contender, you can't lose against the Raiders.
Yeah, and then you have the Cardinals, which should be another easy win, but you got the Broncos this week, and then the Browns, which neither of those games are going to be cakewalks, and then you have the Rams, which that could turn out to be the game of the year if both these teams keep trending in the direction they're going. We'll talk about the Rams later on. And then they still got Ravens. They play the Chargers week 15, and then the Seahawks week 16, which neither of those games are going to be easy wins. And then Chargers have the Seahawks this week, the next week. I believe they're on a bye this week.
No, they actually play against the. Oh no, I think they are on.
They got
a
a bye.
Yeah, because they played in London.
Yeah. So the Chargers have about same strength, I would say. They got Seahawks.
Their
week.
final stretch is pretty brutal. With the
Yeah.
Chiefs also, you got
Yeah.
the Steelers, Bengals, the Chiefs, and the Ravens. All
Yeah.
those teams do have winning records right
Yeah.
now.
And then the Broncos still have a solid defense, no
And-
matter what their offense does.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if coming in week 17 they could be a potential wild card spot also for the
Yeah.
Broncos. But that depends on how Case Keenum wants to play in the second half of the season.
Yeah. If he does anything like what he did last year with the Vikings, just keeping them afloat, just let that defense take over.
Ooh, the NFC East. This is a toss up, man.
Yeah, this could be another 3-team race. We got Redskins at 4-2, Eagles 3-4, Dallas 3-4, and then the Giants are definitely not contending at 1-6.
I have the Redskins. I think they are a more complete team. Alex Smith is playing decent football. He
Yeah.
hasn't been making highlight reels like he was with the Chiefs, but he is getting the job done. They are 4-2.
Yeah.
Adrian Peterson, bounce back. Season for him could be.
Yeah.
He could be considered as a comeback player of the year.
Yeah.
Just because of
Yeah.
his
He might
lousy
have.
performances he has in the last 2
Yeah.
seasons. But and their defense is pretty decent too. So
Yeah.
I respect the Redskins. I see them winning that division.
Yeah, I could see the Eagles making a push though, simply because they were the Super Bowl champions last year, and they also have Carson Wentz back and healthy,
Yeah, but
unlike at the beginning of
the
the
Eagles
season.
are getting banged up,
They are running back is
and
that's a problem for him right now.
once you get too banged up, there's no coming back.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
could they be a wild card team? There is a strong possibility.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be in playoff contention come the end of the season. And then Dallas, I could, with the pickup of Amari Cooper, I could see Dallas. I don't know if he's a true number one wide receiver like what Jerry Jones is looking for, but he does make that offense better than what they were. So we'll see if Dak Prescott can use Amari Cooper. And then also, if that passing game picks up, that'll help Zeke Elliott get better as the season goes along, too. And then the Giants, I mean, really, you got Saquon Barkley and Odell Beckham.
Yeah, and they're gonna have to to even win the division, win out the rest of the season to go
Yeah.
10-6. Which
Even then, I don't think that'll be enough to win the East.
no, I think what's best for them is tank.
Yeah, I think the
Pick up
Giants
a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
And
go for that first overall pick up that rookie QB, and with a new QB,
new coach. You got a
and then
young offense.
you got Saquon, you still got Odell Beckham, you got Sterling Shepard. You have your weapons on offense. But
Oh, and don't forget their tight end,
yeah,
Ingram.
Evan Ingram. He's another
Yeah.
up and comer.
And I mean their defense isn't terrible either.
No, but it could still use some improvement.
Or most definitely. NFC North. We were talking about this earlier. This is a hard division.
Yeah.
They're all one game from each other.
Yep. You got Vikings at 4-2-1, Packers 3-2-1. That game they tied. Lions at 3-3, and the Bears also at 3-3.
Don't count Aaron Rodgers out. I've
No.
learned from these mistakes before.
Yeah.
I believe Green Bay. Relax.
Yeah.
They'll probably take the division. Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers is known for major comebacks.
Yeah.
Definitely coming back from injuries. Remember that time when he broke his collarbone and came back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then not last year, but a couple years ago, and I believe they went to the NFC Championship before pulling his hamstring right before against the Seahawks.
Yeah.
The Seahawks come back, but
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, the god of football, I would say he
the
is
best quarterback playing in the game right now. Not the best all time, but I think he's the best quarterback playing right now.
Oh, most definitely. I mean, he electrifies an offense. He changes the offense.
Yeah, it doesn't matter who
He
you have
makes
on
the wide
offense.
receivers better.
Yeah.
He is a elite. There's a reason why he's the highest paid quarterback. I mean,
Yeah, and he should be. He's the best player in the league right now. But yeah, I mean I could see the Lions falling out of it. Not that they're a bad team, but I just see them falling out. Bears, I could see going either way. Mitchell Trubisky, I think we were talking earlier. He's really like he's stepping up into that role.
Future's bright for the Bears, but
Yeah.
like I said, you are coming against a very good quarterback in Aaron Rodgers and
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford. I would not count Matthew Stafford out. And Kirk Cousins, I mean, he's playing phenomenal.
Yeah.
The Vikings offense is electrifying. Adam Thielen,
Yeah.
whoa,
Adam
what a
Thielen.
wide receiver. I mean,
Yeah. And then you have Stephon Diggs as your number 2, which that's a pretty solid 1-2 combo right
and then
there.
once Dalvin Cook comes back healthy, you know, they'll get a good
Yeah.
running game going, which, Murray's been picking up the slack
Yeah, but
the
he's
last
their,
2 weeks, but
he's their
Dalvin
number
Cook
2.
is the guy that is supposed to be a game changer.
Yeah, and then that Vikings defense is still a top 5 defense.
Most
Their
definitely.
defense is going to carry them. So moving on to the NFC South, all these divisions are so competitive. You got Saints at 5-1, you got Panthers 4-2, Bucks 3-3, and then Falcons at 3-4.
I am respecting the Falcons for the comeback they're making. You know, they were one of the worst teams coming in, and I
Yeah.
think they're on a 2-game winning streak. But I'm gonna have to give it to the Saints. The Saints, they might be one of the best offenses in the NFC.
Yeah.
Definitely in the NFC South, and also they just
Yeah.
just picked up Eli Apple.
Yeah, and that
And-
makes their defense better.
You can say all you want about Eli Apple. He is a former first overall pick, or not
First
first
round.
round pick.
First rounder, yeah.
But I think a new scheme, a better coaching staff. You know, Sean Payton's been with the organizations for a very long time, and he'll be across side of Marshawn Lattimore. I think this, players usually when you put them in a different scheme that they've been bad in before,
Yeah.
they usually change. And this is his redemption story right here with the Saints.
Yeah. Yeah, despite the Panthers being 4-2, I think this is the Saints' division to lose. Because they have Drew Brees as their quarterback, who, like we were saying earlier, one of the best of all time.
And I
He's
think
not slowing down.
I think the Panthers have been getting lucky lately.
Yeah.
If you look at it, their offense. I mean, you got Cam Newton, but what else do they really have? They,
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey, but they don't really have good wide receivers. You can say
Yeah.
Functions is, a decent wide receiver, but
Yeah, but
he's never
he's-
taken off the way that they wanted to
Yeah,
in the
he's
past couple
not.
of years.
He's not a Kelvin Benjamin when he was a first-round pick.
No, I don't see this team being able to compete against electrifying.
Yeah. I think the Saints are going to run away with this division.
Yeah.
Give them a couple weeks, and then we get to probably the least competitive division in the NFL right now. You got the Rams, 7-0, best team in the NFL. You got Seahawks, who are making a comeback. Started 1-2, now they're 0-2, and now they're at 3-3. Then you got the Cardinals and the 49ers, both at 1-6, or both are in clear rebuild mode right now.
I want to say the 49ers are in rebuild mode. You lost Jimmy Garoppolo week 3. So they're just, surviving, seeing what they got right now.
Yeah, they're a
But,
better team than the Cardinals are.
Yeah, and I respect what they did with the Packers.
Yeah.
They should have beaten the Packers, but Aaron Rodgers comeback win.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is
You know
Aaron
the story.
Rodgers.
But, I mean, let's be fair. It's the Rams division.
Yeah,
Rams going to take probably the first overall seed unless the
Yeah.
Saints come in and beat them. But
yeah. The Rams are the best team in the
The
NFL
Rams-
right now.
the Rams only has about 3 games that will challenge them, and that's the Chiefs, Packers, and Saints. I think those are the 3 games that.
Yeah, those
they
are the
have
3
that-
toughest. I think the Seahawks, they gave them a run for their money. The Seahawks lost that game against the Rams. They should have won. So the Seahawks are going to give them another run, but I think the Rams are still going to take them out in Week 10. But yeah, I could see the Rams going 13-3, 14-2.
And they do have a decent matchup in week 14 and 15 against the Bears and Eagles.
Yeah, but the Rams are still the far better team.
They are a better complete team. Alib Talib and
Yeah.
Marcus Peters is going to come back.
Yep.
They both of those players are banged up right now, but when they do come back, you should see this defense being a top 3, honestly.
Yeah, they're a top 3 offense and a top 3 defense.
Yeah, Todd Gurley, he should be MVP.
Yeah.
Given the fact what he's done. But
Yeah, and Jared Goff is starting to live up to that first overall pick. So, but he also does have a plethora of wide receivers to choose from. So,
So
yeah.
we've already talked about the division leaders or whatnot. Let's just go into the play. Who else is going to make the playoffs? Who's going to take those wild card spots? Two for each side.
Yeah.
We'll start with the AFC.
AFC, I think.
AFC is a lot stronger than they were in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
They're a more competitive group. We got new teams coming in.
Yeah. AFC, I could see Chiefs or Chargers, whoever comes second place in the West, and then out of the North, I could see whoever, Steelers or Bengals or Ravens, one of those three teams.
If we got the Ravens winning the division, I do
Yeah.
have the Bengals going in
Yeah.
for the wild card.
I would agree with that.
I wouldn't be surprised if the AFC North do produce three teams
Yeah.
for the wild card, but the Chargers are competing, but we have known with the Chargers to choke in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
Every year Phillip Rivers MVP quarterback, and then it kind of just falls out because his poor play in the second half of the season.
Yeah.
So I'm expecting this again. He is getting older.
Yeah.
He is not what he used to be. They are thriving on Melvin Gordon, but Melvin Gordon was banged up a little, so.
Yeah. And then how about NFC? Who do you have in the NFC?
NFC, and one other team's gonna come from the NFC North. If I have the Packers winning it in the North, I think the Vikings are gonna take the wild card. They're gonna take the 5th seed, and then the 6th seed. There's only one other team that could do that, and I think it's the Falcons. I think the Falcons are gonna make a comeback.
Yeah, the Falcons have a lot of
They did it last year.
weapons.
They made the comeback. The 3-4.
Yeah, but they could still. They have Matt Ryan, and he's still throwing to Julio Jones no matter what he does in the red zone. It's still Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, and then he's got
Their
Calvin
offense
Ridley.
is really good, and I know their defense is really banged up right now. But the great thing about being banged up right now is
Yeah.
they come back later.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if they can thrive on for the next couple of weeks, bring in the
yeah. And
injured
then-
players, being back healthy. This team could probably get the run of the money and take up the 6th seed.
Yeah. As much as it pains me to say this, I don't think the Seahawks are going to make it this year. Maybe next year, but not this year. I agree with the NFC North. One of the teams is going to come out the NFC North. And I don't know. I think it's a toss-up between Falcons and Panthers probably. But Falcons I could see going deeper than the Panthers in the playoffs. So we'll see. Or the Eagles. But if the Redskins end up winning that division. But yeah, it's going to be a pretty competitive race for the wild card in the NFC. But
So let's move on to this week's games, our Week 9 predictions. We got the Thursday night football game. Got Miami and Texans. I got Miami winning. I think it's going to be a defensive game, not an offensive
Yeah.
game. Both teams have had recent struggles on offense. Both teams' defensive line is probably the two of the greatest defensive lines in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
Willis Merciless, Javon Clowney, J.J. Watt, and then you have Robert Quinn, Kiko Alonso, and Cameron Wake. So it's going to be the battle of which offensive line really holds up in this game, and I think Miami's has the better offensive line. Plus, it's Brock Osweiler return. I could expect him to up his game a little bit. So
yeah.
Texans are on a 4-game winning streak, but a streak got to end.
Yeah, for me, I would go with Houston in this matchup, because it seems like a pretty even matchup, but in an even matchup, you always go with which quarterback is better, and I believe Deshaun Watson is an up-and-coming superstar in the NFL, and he's...
I will have to say that Deshaun Watson does have a punctured lung right now, so we'll see if he can hold up all 60 minutes. Luckily, they're at home, so he didn't have to travel through a bus this week.
Yeah, we'll see, but even then, he still does have...
If he could stay healthy in 60 minutes,
Yeah.
the Texans do have a chance, so hopefully that offensive line holds up.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Sunday games, Eagles-Jaguars.
Oh, man, this could be an unexpectedly good matchup, because it's still two teams that made it to the championship game last year. Jaguars AFC Championship, Eagles obviously winning the Super Bowl. So this game, I look for the Jaguars to make a comeback this week. Um, just their defense, I think they've been underperforming. They want to show the world that we're still the best defense in the NFL. So I look for the Jaguars to come out on top in this one.
I got the Jaguars too, and I think we're going to see a different Blake Bortles. You know, he got benched last week. They've already announced that he's going to be the starter this week. He's gotten the reality check.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if they do, trade for a quarterback to even give him more reality check. Sometimes teams do that to make the quarterback be better.
Yeah.
We've seen that in previous years.
Yeah.
So this is a make it or break it. The next couple weeks for Blake Bortles, and I've said it before. People know me. Blake Bortles, I think he's an outstanding quarterback, and
Yeah.
you can say that he's trash, whatnot. But the great thing about Blake Bortles is you don't know which Blake Bortles is going to show up.
Yeah.
You can't really make a game plan with him because you don't know what he's going to do, how he is. He could throw 4 interceptions and he throws 5 touchdowns, or he
Yeah.
rushes 100 yards in a game. So
Yeah. And also keep in mind the Jaguars did pick up Carlos Hyde
yes,
to help out that running game. So which that is their offensive identity is that running game.
running game,
And that will help out Blake Bortles if they can get that going.
so you're not throwing the ball 40 times a game
Yeah.
with not known wide receivers.
Yeah. So next up you got Ravens and Panthers.
This is a big just NFL clash. Both teams are sitting at 4-2 and 4-3.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give it to the Ravens.
I would have to agree with that one. The Ravens are the more complete team.
I'm giving it to the Ravens because of their defense. I think the
Yeah.
defense can shut down that run game,
Yeah.
which is really the only reason why the Panthers are so good is the run game
Yeah.
between Cam Newton and Christian McCaffrey and the rest of the squads. But I think if it comes down to it, Justin Tucker's going to save the day. He
Yeah.
got that reality check last week, but he is still the most reliable kicker.
Yeah. Then we got Jets at Bears.
I
next up.
actually got the Jets winning this game. The Bears, past 2 weeks against Miami and New England, they've given up over 30 points a game, over 400 yards offense. They're not looking as well, and the Jets have a nice offense. They picked up Rashard Matthews this week, so I expect to see a very good performance between both quarterbacks, actually, because I don't
Yeah.
think the Jets' defense is that good either. But coming down to it, the Jets are riding on a 2-game winning streak. They're thick in the AFC wild card race, and they're not going to give up. Todd Bowles seems to show that they don't give up.
Yeah, I could see this one going either way, but I'm going Bears this week because Mitchell Trubisky he's been pretty on fire. Despite the 2 interceptions he threw last week, which both were nice plays by the defense, but he completed about 50% of his passes, but still he went toe to toe with the Patriots, which is no small feat. So he's a rising star. He's coming up. You got Khalil Mack still on that defense, and that defense is still above average. So I could see the Bears coming out on top, even though the Jets are in the playoff race.
We got Buccaneers at the Bengals. Bengals.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston struggled against the Browns. They had to force it to overtime. They had to go into the whole overtime. I think they won within a minute left of the overtime. Bengals are the more complete team. Andy Dalton's playing phenomenal football this year, which is surprising because he's not a guy to do that. But they have a nice offense. Joe Mixon's back. They're getting the run game going. I think they have a solid defense. Jameis Winston, I don't think he's the type of guy to beat a team like this. Like I said, he struggled last week, and he missed the first 3 weeks of the season. He's still trying to get a rhythm going on. I see the Bengals. Plus, they're playing Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Florida teams going up north, they usually struggle a lot.
Yeah.
We're in November, or almost in November now, so it is getting cold up north. It snowed in Denver a couple weeks ago, so
Yeah. I would have to agree with the Bengals coming out on top in this one. Next up, after that, we got Seahawks in Detroit facing the Lions, a couple of 3-3 teams.
I got the Lions in this game. I think their offense is going to overpower the Seahawks. The Seahawks, they got Bobby Wagner, but who else is a really big playmaker on that defense to stop Golden Tate, Marvin Jones, and Galladay. And plus, the rookie running back is, he's averaging 8 yards a carry last week against Miami. He also shredded up the Patriots. They finally got a run game. This is an elite offense against a really banged up and not so strong defense like they used to be.
I got the Seahawks in this one because they refound their identity on offense in the running game. Chris Carson is proving to be the back that that Seattle thought he was going to be last year before he got hurt. And then their offensive line has been overperforming, to be honest. And then you got Russell Wilson as Russell Wilson. And then they also have Ed Dixon coming back from injury at tight end and KJ Wright coming back from injury on defense. So their defense is going to be better. Their offense is finding its rhythm again. They're 3-1 their past 4 games, including a dominant performance against Oakland in London. So I look for the Seahawks to continue their winning ways this week. Next up, we got Broncos at the Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs. Patrick Mahomes did struggle a little bit when they first met up. He had that game-winning drive at the end. But, that was in Denver. They're playing in Kansas City, at Arrowhead Stadium. I don't think Case Keenum is good enough to go head-to-head with this offense superstar team. So.
Yeah. I look for the Chiefs to win this one, and I don't think it's going to be that close, even though the Broncos have a pretty good defense. I still look for Patrick Mahomes to have a pretty good day with all the weapons he's got. It reminds me of the 2014 or 2015 Broncos with Peyton Manning, Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders. Just the list goes on and on. It reminds me of that. He's got Kareem Hunt. Sammy Watkins is his 4th option on that Chiefs offense. So, I got the Chiefs. The Chiefs winning this one pretty.
Get the Redskins at the Giants.
Redskins.
I actually got the Giants winning this game. Everyone's starting to realize, they're trading everyone away. We suck. So, I think Odell last week, 140 yards.
Yeah.
Last week, and
Saquon Barkley, he can go off whenever he wants to.
I think this is the sleeper game of the week. I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants do pull off a win. They're in desperation mode. There's literally no more error going on.
Yeah.
They
One more
lose,
loss,
they're done.
Yeah.
So, we've seen the Giants come back, go 8-8, 9-7, make playoffs, and make Super Bowl runs. Not saying it's gonna happen this year, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Giants, get together and actually win against the Redskins.
Yeah. I just think Redskins are going to win simply because they're the better team all around, and the Giants have no offensive line, and their defense is below average, even though they have the weapons on offense. The Redskins are going to win. And we got Browns Steelers, which I could see going either way. But I would probably have to say Steelers just based on their experience, and they're at home this week.
I got the Browns. This is a week 1 rematch where they went to overtime. They had like 6 turnovers in that game. Ben Roethlisberger is not the man he used to be. They are coming off a bye, which is a good thing, but can be a bad thing. When you're off, if you're fresh off on a hot start or whatnot, you tend to lose that hot start after a bye. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns defensively attack Ben Roethlisberger and take the win.
Shut him down.
Field. It would be a big upset and a much needed win for the Browns.
Yeah, it would put them right in the division hunt.
Beating the division leader at the moment,
Yeah.
Colts at Raiders. What more to say? It's the Colts. They're the more complete team. Everyone's getting shipped off, and Raiders wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple more guys be shipped off by next Tuesday.
Yeah, the Raiders they're in tank mode right now. They're going for that first overall pick, I feel. The Colts have Andrew Luck, who's playing, and he's playing well this year. So I look for the Colts to win this one. 49ers Cardinals, a couple of 1-6 NFC West teams. I think 49ers are going to take this one. They're the better team. 49ers are the better team. They have the better defense. The Cardinals have Josh Rosen at quarterback. He's still learning, even though the 49ers have a young quarterback to back up. 49ers are going to take this one.
I got the Cardinals. I think Josh Rosen has been playing very well as a rookie. Yeah, their offense isn't putting up 30 points a game, but he is doing the job that he needs to be. Coming in at week 3, and you really don't have that good of a mentor, Sam Bradford. So I think he is pulling off. And this is Patrick Peterson. It could be his last game in Arizona.
Yeah.
If you want trade potential, I'd expect him to go off, get a couple picks.
Yeah.
See if he's worth a second or first round pick for a trade.
Yeah.
Game of the week, man. Packers Rams.
Yeah.
I got Green
agree.
Bay. I understand they're playing in LA, but we've seen good teams fold under Aaron Rodgers, and let's be real here, most teams don't stay undefeated forever.
Yeah.
We've only had 2 undefeated teams in the Super Bowl era, so
Yeah.
I don't think the Rams will be the next team. I think they're too banged up on defense, definitely with backup corners on both sides against an Aaron Rodgers led team.
Yeah.
I expect another comeback from the Aaron Rodgers, third comeback of this year.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with the fact that the Rams are not going to go 16-0 this year, but I don't think this is the week they lose. I think the Rams offense is just too explosive, no matter how great Aaron Rodgers is or how banged up their cornerbacks are. I think the Rams offense is too explosive right now, and the Rams are going to take this one and move to 8-0.
We have the best primetime matchup of the week. Saints at Vikings. This is offense versus defense / offense. So
Yeah.
this is I think the Vikings will take it. Their offense with Kirk Cousins, Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen is just too much for a Saints defense who is still trying to find its identity to, try to push them to hold under 20 points for Drew Brees to actually attack this very explosive and dominating defense.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I would agree. I would take the Vikings in this one over the Saints. Yeah, you said it right. Two good offenses, but the Vikings just have the much better defense, and they say defense wins championships. Defense is going to win this one for the Vikings.
and we got the final game, Patriots at Bills.
Monday night. What a Monday night game. One-sided. Probably the most one-sided game of the entire week.
I think the Bills will show up at first half, but
Yeah,
I
but
think
the
Tom Brady will
Patriots
wreck in the second half.
Yeah,
This
the
is-
Patriots are going to overpower the Bills in this one.
I think it'll be like 30-13 or something like that.
Yeah.
You got Derek Anderson leading this Bills team. They really, Kelvin Benjamin hasn't been the dude that they thought they were. They
Yeah.
traded for LaShawn McCoy.
Yeah.
I think he's having career lows right now. I think
Yeah.
he's been banged up. He's a
Yeah.
trade rumor right now.
Yeah, he's coming off of a game last week where he went out pretty early with a concussion. So we'll see how many points the Bills put up, but the Patriots are.
I
gonna win
wouldn't
this
be
one easily.
surprised if this is an upset game. This is a division rival. The Bills has beaten the Patriots before in Buffalo, so.
Yeah,
But I don't think that. I think injuries are piled up. This would be a very
Yeah.
surprising.
yeah. Tom Brady is
Win.
gonna win this game for the Patriots, I think. But yeah, I mean, there's always the chance of an upset, but I don't see it happening. So
Yeah. For our final segment before we head out, which fantasy player should we pick up this week before, they cut off?
for me, I would say if you're looking for a quarterback, if you have a quarterback on a bye, I would say go out and get Mitchell Trubisky. He has put up some pretty good numbers the past few weeks. Week 4 versus Tampa Bay, he put up 43.5 points in my league against Tampa Bay. Week 5 bye at Miami, he put up 27, and then last week he put up 31. So Mitchell Trubisky, like I've said before in this episode, he's been on fire. So I would go up and pick him up to because I believe he's going to have a good week against the Jets defense.
Yeah, my guy is, if you need a wide receiver help, Jakeem Grant from the Miami Dolphins. This is the guy you're going to have to pick up, before, if you're in Eastern time before 8 o'clock, Pacific time before 5 o'clock. Miami's pretty banged up on the wide receiver squad. He is the fastest receiver on the team as of right now, and Brock Osweiler loves throwing the short passes and let the speedy guys go. He's put up big numbers before, but this is a guy I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a touchdown, 70 to 80 yards in this game. Plus, Houston's defensive backs aren't the greatest, so
that's their weakness.
Pick the speedy guy if you need a wide receiver. I think he's a very deep sleeper this week. But with that, that's the first episode. And if you guys made it through it all, it's hour-long podcast. We appreciate you guys and whatnot. And we're gonna be doing this every Thursday, hopefully. So if you guys enjoyed this, look for us next Thursday.
Yep, really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much.